What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We had Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani for the first time since the WBC. I cannot wait to show that game. The Marlins have a rookie demon who made some history against my Guardians, and it's all the Padres' fault. The Brewers are trying for 12 wins in a row, all while the Mariners are trying to win 9 consecutive games. Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, probably had his worst game in a while. He made wrong move after wrong move. Ketel Marte keeps on cementing himself as an all-time second base talent, and the Mets, they might have just suffered their biggest meltdown of the entire season. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. We recap every baseball game almost every single day, so keep growing the game with me, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to use my code Fuzzy on SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy, and a shout out to Team Summerlin South from Las Vegas. I hope you guys go crush it, so I wanted to give them a little shout. Especially to Banks Mosler. Go get it, kid. We have some breaking news. The Cubs are calling up a monster. The 6'3", 21-year-old outfielder Owen Casey, he has been a destroyer of worlds at AAA this year. He has 26 doubles with 22 home runs and a 955 OPS, which is just ridiculous. He has some of the most insane raw powers we have ever seen from a minor league baseball player. He deletes baseballs. I'm not saying that he's going to be the next Shohei Ohtani, but he has Ohtani-level bat speed and exit velocities, and he takes his walks as well. Kyle Tucker, he's only batting .203 with 1 home run and 10 RBI his last 34 games. So they're trying to bring up some firepower to kind of relieve the pressure off him because he's a free agent next year. He's choosing the worst time ever to have his worst career slump. But there you go. Breaking news. Owen Casey, he's going to be in the big leagues. I think that decision was made before this Cubs and Jays game was even played. And again, I've already talked about how terrible Kyle Tucker has been for the last month plus. The rookies have been putting the Cubs on their backs. Bush is not a rookie, but Michael Bush, he did go yard on a baseball hit no less than 784 feet directly up in the air. Here's a rookie. Matt Shaw has been a machine. If he keeps this up, he is for sure going to steal Rookie of the Year because he's batting .322 with 8 home runs, 4 stolen bases, and a 1.1 OPS his last 22 games. Cade Horton, he's a rookie pitcher. He held the juggernaut Jays offense to 1 base hit with 8 punch-outs. His scoreless streak was on the line after a single and a walk. Kittredge, he didn't clutch up, and there goes the streak. The Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2-bagger ends the scoreless streak for Cade Horton at 29 innings, which is still insane. Also, prayers up to Miguel Amaya. I'm not going to show it, but if you're a Cubs fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bush and Seiya added a few more runs as Danny Palencia secured his 16th save. The Cubs are 68-51, 16 games over 500, but they're 7.5 games back in the Central. We'll get into the Brewers game and the Shohei versus Trout game right after this, but listen, a Marlins rookie had one of the greatest games of the year, and I think he's having the best start to a career by any Marlins player ever. Xavier Edwards, we call him X, he's having a really good season, but we're obviously not talking about him. It's this kid, Jacob Marcy. He ripped a long, no doubt, 3-run home run for his first of 7 runs batted in. 7. Now, I thought the Guardians were going to get back into it. I was hyped after Quan went yard and then Gabriel, I mean, that's an absolute pimp job. He went yard, but then I had to Marcy the Marlins steal the lead right back. That is a 2-run home run for Jacob Marcy. Graham Pauley, he swatted one as well. He has 4 home runs and 6 outs above average. Xavier is now off to the races. He's already homered. This is a triple. He's batting .344 his last 36 games. Kyle Stowers, yes, he still exists. He's kind of been overshadowed by some of his teammates lately. That's an RBI. Liam Hicks, he got it to 9 runs on the day, and Marcy got it to double digits with a 2-run double. The 7 RBI ties a Marlins record. Oh, by the way, he also had a stolen base. Agustin Ramirez, he played in the final 2 runs. This Marlins team is littered with young bucks who are ready for an even bigger 2026. Now back to Marcy. He was known for his speed in the minor leagues. He stole 50 bags last year. Now he's batting .436 with 10 extra base hits, 13 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 2 outs above average. I'm literally running out of breath reading off his stats. Those are over his first 13 games. Combine that with the Kyle Stowers and Agustin Ramirez trades. Xavier Edwards has been a straight-up star. Marlins are setting themselves up for a really awesome 2026 and beyond, and it's in large part because of Peter Bendix, the new GM, the fact that he's been stealing stars left and right. He got Stowers from the Orioles, Agustin from the Yankees, and remember, he got Jacob Marcy and that Luis Arraez trade. And I'm going to read off some stats real quick about Arraez and Marcy because Marcy's only played 13 games. He's already been worth a 1.5 F-WAR. That is insane. Luis Arraez, over his last 240-ish games, has been worth a 1.7 F-WAR. That's how good Marcy has been. I need you guys to understand what you're witnessing. It's a generational, almost once-in-a-lifetime beginning to a career, and it just shows that Peter Bendix, if he calls you, hang up the phone. Because at this point, it's pretty much certain that he is going to steal your best prospect. I mean, without a doubt, he's going to do it. Again, moral of the story, the Padres had to learn this the hard way. Do not make trades with Peter Bendix. The Whiz Kid, he stole Marcy in that Arise trade. But I guess the good news for Padres fans is AJ Preller just doesn't seem to care. He'll mortgage the entire franchise's future for a big trade. Then he'll just go scout out another demon. Remember, he gave away James Wood, Gore, CJ Abrams, and then he created the next best prospect, Leo DeVries. So he just does this. While I was yapping, the Padres went up by 2 on a lucky bounce off the bag. Cronenworth, that's a 2-run blessing. Tatis got on base 4 times, now has 2 base hits in 4 of his last 5 games. It's 4-0 Padres, 5 on a sac fly, and 6 on, Nando stopped, but Ramos apparently stopped playing baseball and decided to just imagine that he was on a beautiful lake in Montana and he was skipping rocks. I don't know what happened there. Kai Wang Tang, he's out already. The newcomers, O'Hearn and Ramon, they clutched up. Ramon with a 2-run missile. He has 10 RBIs and a 173 OPS plus his first 12 games, I think, with the Padres. Ramon is up to 17 home runs on the season in general. Tatis, look at him flexing his insane talent. Ramos, he wanted a heat seeker double. Nope, Tatis snagged it, and then there he is, his 4th time on base with his 2nd RBI. The Padres have won 5 in a row. With that Padres W, the Dodgers have to beat the Halos if they don't want to lose sole possession of first place, and that's a tough task because the Dodgers are 0-5 against the Angels this year, 0-6 dating back to last season. Now, luckily for Dodgers fans, they're already roaring, and I don't know if that's all that impressive because Kyle Hendricks should not be pitching in the year 2025. Anyways, Ohtani, he had a triple. Betts, he grounded one through the hole, so it's already 1-0. And Will Smith, his magical 2025 continued. He is first in the entire NL in batting average and on base as a catcher. Here we go, Ohtani versus Trout. For the first time since 2023, there was a head nod just like they had back in the WBC. It's a 3-2 count, and he got frozen. Trout, he could not pull the trigger on the sweeper. There was a slight smile from Ohtani. He won't be smiling on this next swing. Taylor Ward just launched his 29th home run. He has 20 RBIs on the season. Ryan Zefferjon, I legitimately don't know if he's good or not because he's insane one week and off on the next 2. The bases are loaded for Mookie, another RBI. Will Smith, he grabbed a 3rd RBI on a walk, but I want round 2 of GOAT versus GOAT. And GOAT 1, talking about Ohtani, the unicorn with 101 paint on the corner. Trout, he is 0 for 3 in his career if you consider the WBC with 3 strikeouts versus Ohtani. Ohapi and Teodosio, they're trying to make a comeback. Neto, he's up for the 3rd time seeing Ohtani today. Bang! That is a 2-run liner down the line. It is a 4 spot against Shohei Ohtani. Reed Detmers, oh no. Wait, Teodosio, he called off Joe Adell. Joe did the right thing and backed off, and Teodosio, who a lot of scouts consider to be the first 80-grade defender since Pete Crow Armstrong, he takes it back, and Ohapi, he wins it on a 103, a 2-run scorcher on 103. Jansen converts his 470th save against his old team for his 23rd save of the year. The Halos are 7-0 against the Dodgers since last year. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 5 games back in the wild card, and the Padres are in first place. Staying with second and first place teams trading, if the Mariners win and the Astros lose, Seattle will be in first place. Technically, they already were because of the tiebreaker, but you know what I'm trying to say. Trevor Rogers has been on a mission. 6 more scoreless frames to start this game, while Logan Gilbert, he was great. He got some help from Dylan Moore, who barely snatched it. That was a sick catch. Rogers struck out 6 over 6, but the 7th was a little bit tougher. J-Rod tripled. Second half, J-Rod is just different. And Naylor, he ripped it past Jackson Holiday. Gilbert, he's also trying. He also cannot get through 7. Ryan Mountcastle, no shutout for you. Kobe Mayo had a sawed-off single, so now they're going to bring in I think it's I've heard Spears, but I've also heard Spire. Jeremiah Jackson, while I'm just yapping about a last name, with the pinch hit triple. It is 3-1 Orioles, but the Orioles do not have Felix Bautista for the rest of the year. You have Keegan Aiken out there again. This is his 5th blown game. Naylor and Canzone both contributed with RBI outs. It's 3-3. Here we go. Carlson, he got on for Jackson Holiday, who perfectly placed it into the corner. There it is. A walk-off 3-bagger. The 8-win streak is gone for the Mariners. The Orioles, they take it 4-3. The streak is gone, and so might be first place. Jeremy Pena's 5-tool mega season continued with his 13th home run. Remember, he missed a bunch of games, so 13 is still kind of a lot. He's also batting .318 with the silly 138 OPS plus and Gold Glove defense. Yiner, this was the start of a big game. He singled in a run a few innings before pummeling a prodigious 2-run blast. By the way, Hunter Brown, he only allowed 1 earned run across 6 2/3. He had 4 strikeouts. He's down to a sub 2.5 ERA. Brian Abreu, we have to put more respect and more consideration on Bryan Abreu being one of the best relievers of the last half decade. He has a 1.6 ERA on the season after getting his first save. He has 81 strikeouts in 55 innings. He has a 2.1 ERA with 372 strikeouts his last 265 innings pitched. We have to talk about this guy more because he's essentially Mason Miller who doesn't throw 103. He's actually better than Mason Miller. The Astros, they're back up by a game for first place. One day after the Brewers scored 14, the Brewers put up 12 as they won their 12th game in a row. What even is that sentence? They made Brian Reynolds' 5 RBI eruption completely irrelevant. Frelick, Yelly, Ortiz, they all singled in the first few runs. Ortiz, him figuring it out almost perfectly, lines up with the Brewers kind of breaking out. Frelick also with him as well. He won't stop. That's an RBI double. Collins, same thing. He's been such a sick find as a rookie. Contreras, he knocked in Mr. Isaac Collins. They're just peppering Mitch Keller. I feel bad for him. It's 6-0, but then in the blink of an eye, it's 6-5. Reynolds popped off once versus Shelby Miller, and that was after Brandon Wood went for shutout. So yeah, Brandon Wood, he's not going to get the W regardless. But then Brian Reynolds hit a 2-run home run off of Mears, so he's up to 13 home runs and 61 RBI. The OPS plus is almost back to 100. The Brewers, they deployed the paper cut attack again. Contreras, Ortiz, Yelly, they all singled again to make it a 12 spot. And I have to mention this, Yelly's on pace for 32 home runs, 21 stolen bases, 111 RBI. I know that's not the 40-plus home runs, but Yelich and Bellinger they've been elite this year. Let's face it. The Brewers have won 12 in a row. They've outscored their opponents by 159 runs this year, and 12 wins in a row is cool and all, but they've also won 37 of their last 46. That's an 804 win-loss percentage. That's mythical. Now, I do want to see the Cubs game, but we have New York teams coming up next. The Mets, they were straight chilling in the first half. They were so good that Cookie ended up getting released. Carlos Carrasco, please, buddy, hang it up. It's getting sad at this point. Pete had a 2-run line drive. Soto had 2 more runs after a Mullen sac fly. Soto has 18 stolen bases to go along with 29 home runs. If he ever, somehow, by the grace of the baseball gods, figures out defense, he's going to be a perennial 10-WAR player. David Peterson, he's been good this year, but he served up a couple meatballs and lost all command 20 minutes later after that home run. Nick Allen, that's a bases on a walk. Profar, he's been red hot. His third base of the game, cleared the bases, 3 RBIs on 1 swing, and then you have Ozuna making it a 1-run game. A 1-run game? It's now a 3-run game. Advantage Braves. Michael Harris, he's fresh off of winning Player of the Week. He's batting .395 since July 22nd. Eli White has definitely slowed up on offense, but look at this dart to keep it 9-6. What an absolute seed. And now it's a blowout. I think it's 5 runs is a blowout to me, or maybe it's just I don't know if you consider it a blowout. What do you guys think? Ozuna belted a 2-run big fly, 11 unanswered runs by the Braves. The Mets could really use a Phillies L, and we'll talk about the Yankees game right after this, I swear. If not, I'll give one of you a PS5 or something. Hunter Green is back. That is massive news. Look at the nasty slide piece, and then the 101 heater past Bryce Harper. Now, the Reds are facing Sanchez, so it's not going to be an easy game. But Noelvi, he gave Hunter the game's first lead. Marte, he's out trying for 3, but I appreciate the effort. Green, he ended up going 6 scoreless with 6 strikeouts with probably a few more bullets left in the tank. He only had 85 pitches. You rarely see the 2-timer Bryce Harper guess that bad. Hunter's ERA is back under 2.5. Now we have a hit and run. Ellie, I mean, the dude could crawl home, especially with the hit and run. There was a lucky bounce as well, and oh boy, Sanchez gave up a knock to Marte again, and Marte came around to score with a Little League home run. I guess Christopher Sanchez either dropped his controller or he hit red on the throwing meter. And is this back-to-back games with the grand slam? It is. Miguel Andujar has been a flat-out stud ever since he got traded from the A's to the Reds. He's batting .370 with a .231 OPS plus as a Red. Just when you think the Yankees are out of a funk, they put up a head-scratcher game like the one you're about to watch now. Losing to Joe Ryan isn't the end of the world, and even Bellinger corked a baseball into the second deck for his 22nd home run. But here comes the Twins. Luke Keeschel, he ate it on this RBI chopper. It's kind of embarrassing, but hey, a run is a run. That was the only run allowed by the rookie Cam Schlittler. Joe Ryan, he's still out there for the 6th inning. I think he struck out the side for a nasty frame, and to me, this is why the game is on Aaron Boone. I personally think that Cam Schlittler could have gone 6 innings. He was only on 85 pitches, but because he's a rookie, maybe they're not going to do that. Yerry De Los Santos has been good up until this meltdown, but Clemens, he spotted a 2-run double. He got to 3rd on a bobble. He would have scored anyway because Royce Lewis, he doubled off of Mark Leiter, so nothing was working for Aaron Boone. Combine that with 7 strikeouts from Joe Ryan, and this decision to not pinch hit Austin Wells in the 7th inning against a lefty with a runner on 3rd. What are we doing? Just a classic Boone game. Topa, he secured his 2nd save. The Yankees, they stay 1 game ahead of the Guardians for that final wild card spot. So Yeah, at least the Guardians didn't win if you're a Yankees fan. I don't know how this is going to happen because it's going to be tough to get the counting stats, but Ketel Marte needs to be in Cooperstown. Now, I'm never going to stop raving about this guy because he has all-time skills as a second baseman. There he is with a single off his old teammate Merrill Kelly. Burger bombs? Jake Burger off of Zach Gallen. He goes 435 feet. My goodness. Perdomo, I did not see this coming at all. I'm going to raise my hand and out myself on this guy as well. I did not see this season. He has 13 home runs and a buttload of RBIs. Merrill Kelly only allowed 2 earned runs over 6. Josh Young, he gave some insurance run to the newcomer in the 8th inning, so it's 4-2 for another newcomer, Phil Maton. James McCann, he can. His 3rd home run, he's up to a 360 on-base percentage in 25 games. He's been filling in nicely. I think Moreno's been out, right? Ketel! Oh my God. The go-ahead 3-run pimp job. He doesn't hit cheapies. He stares and stunts on every single home run. And I'm going to read you guys some of the most video game road to the show cartoon stats I've ever seen from a second baseman. Over Ketel's last 162 games, so a full season's worth, he's batting .300 with 47 home runs, 116 RBIs, and a 985 OPS. That is all-time stuff. He's got to be in Cooperstown. We have to find a way. Hey, wait, whoa, we have a 3rd Grand Slam in today's recap. Nathaniel Lowe is having one of the better seasons in recent memory. He has 16 home runs and 68 RBIs, but an awful batting average and an OPS below 90, so that's not good. He actually has a negative WAR on the year, but he's also kind of been productive. We have some breaking news. This is Fuzzy from the future. This is crazy timing. Nathaniel Lowe just got dropped by the Nationals. Yeah, Dylan Cruz is back, so they had to make some room. Maybe they're just doing him a favor by letting him go to a playoff contender because he is a free agent next year, so maybe they want him to have another audition for someone else where it's more important. I don't know, but yeah, breaking news. There you go. Back to the game. Drew Millis had a double for a big 5th inning, and that's big because Adam Frazier might be back. He had 2 more base hits. This one's an RBI after a Vinny grounder. Bobby then matched Adam with 2 base hits and an RBI, and the Nationals got right back to scoring. Brady House and CJ both plated 1. CJ's was much further, his 16th home run. Vinny, I think he did it. He did his 2nd 3-run home run of the series. He has 22 home runs and 80 RBI. Bobby, he skied a baseball. Dalen Lyle, I thought that he was going to catch it, but maybe Hassel was like, dude, you do not have the same arm that I have. He flew in and he caught it. We are now tied because he could not make it to the dish in time. Tolbert, he's just way too fast. So Dalen Lyle kind of had his chance at saving the game, stolen from him, but he did deliver in the box to save the game regardless. He's pumping his fist on first base. He basically wins it because Estevez, he blows it. He's pumping his fist. He's fired up as Jose for air. He seals it. The Royals, they're 4 games back of the wild card. Haters are in shambles. I'm going to knock on wood before I say this next stat line. Chandler Simpson is hitting .326 his last 37 games with an almost 770 OPS. That is really good for a guy with his skill set. He's tagging on fly balls to left field. He would have scored regardless, but I just had to bring that up. Josh Lowe and Caminero, they traded places with back-to-back doubles. Mangum, he got jammed, by the way, but it still worked out. Mangum, he's also very fast. He trotted home on the Shea Langelier's error. Simpson's on again because he's been doing that almost 37% of the time since getting recalled from the minors. Brandon Lau, he gets a 2-run home run now because Chandler got on. His 150th career home run almost went 460 feet. Butler, I'm going to show this for my A's fans. He has 16 home runs. That was the only earned run allowed by Drew Rasmussen, and just like Brian Abreu not getting enough shine. Can we talk about Drew? He's down to a 2.6 ERA. He added 5 more strikeouts. He's got a 2.6 or 7 ERA the last 2 seasons combined. Junior, I think he almost took out a flock of Eagles on this swing. Jeez, 34 home runs and 84 RBIs. No BS. Let me knock on wood too. He could hit 500 home runs. I know that sounds crazy, but he has 41 already, and he just turned 22. The Rays are 5.5 games back of the wild card, so they're still technically alive, but not by much. To quote the Hall of Famer CC Sabathia, no one wants to see a 1-0 pitching duel, but that's what we got in the Tigers and Sox game. The only run scored in this game was a measly sac fly in the 6th inning. Shane Smith, he had an awesome start to the season, but then he cratered bad. He finally looked like May Shane Smith with 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, only 2 base hits. The run came off of Martin Perez, who I forgot was even a White Sox. Wenzel, he cashed in the runner in scoring position, and again, that's all she wrote because Troy Melton, he melted the Sox hitters all game for 6 strikeouts, no walks, only 1 base hit. He gave up a 6th spot in his first ever start. He's allowed 1 earned run since then. Will Vest and his 18th save secures a 2-hit shutout for the Tigers. They're back up to 6.5 games over the Guardians for the best spot in the Central, which just seems like a little too tall of a task, I'm not going to lie.